I'm Vince Sanders from Never Summer Industries, aka Chairman of the Board. Yeah, we're here at SIA 2017, so going over some of our new split boards. I know Gearman's done some great reviews on our 25 split and some of our other boards. New for this year, we've split the Swift. So the Swift split has 20 millimeters of taper. So for optimum float, being able to paintbrush turns in the steeps makes it really manageable. And it's got a unique profile in our line. It's kind of a combination of our ripsaw profile, deep camber areas under the back, mounting ride inserts, and then more rocker up here under the front inserts, and then it continues to camber out to an early rise nose. So this profile gives you a lot of pressure out of a turn for good spring doing hop turns, and also edge hold out of the turn, but it keeps it a little looser under the front foot, so it makes it really manageable and steep technical lines, and adds to that float combined with that early rise nose and the taper. So we're really excited about that. You know, we're blending, we're doing a split specific core blocks. So we have harder wood here in your ride inserts, and then we're blending lighter weight woods throughout it. So it's just about a pound heavier with the hardware than our solid Swift. So we got this in 57, 62, and then 67. So having that nice taper, that broad nose gives you that really good, a lot of surface area for a tremendous float. But it's not like a noodle once you're in anything that's chopped up or chunder, or kind of mowing through late season debris field, stuff like that, or wind scoured faces. We run a carbon V's on the bottom of the core that extend out from those ride inserts out to the contact points, so long carbon V's. And then we run a carbon X out from the outside insert to outside insert, so that really stabilizes those two halves in the midsection of the board. You can this base, you can really see that carbon a little bit.
Oh yeah, right there.
No dies underfoot, durability, and you got this for those powder wheelie photos. Also aluminum tip and tail protectors. So tail clips fit really nice on that, and adds that durability, just jamming the board into dirt and ripping off skins and stuff. And then a little more balanced split for you know, kind of backcountry freestyle is the West. So the West is just only slightly set back, so you have definitely more of a balanced swing weight for spinning, hitting you know, cornices, wind lips, and stuff like that. And it also has a balanced profile. So whereas the Swift has that directional profile, this has equal camber directly underfoot, and then that shorter rocker section in there. So those cambers bite pretty good on for uphill, and then you know that rocker is good for breaking trail. You know, keeps you right on top of the snow, eliminates some of the drag too when you're touring. We have a nice carbonium top sheet, so super durable. Bright yellow P-Tech sidewalls, the most durable split board guaranteed on the market, for sure, with not only an outer but inner P-Tech sidewall. Right there. And our splits are really tight as far as the connection, edge seams, stuff like that, and then a nice bright base to go with those gold hooks. Then we have the Aurora split. So like the West split, more that balanced profile with a lot of camber underfoot, that pivot point and flotation of that rocker. We also doing that split specific NS super light core, so it really is very light underfoot and nimble feeling split. We added a 48 in this, so we have a 148, 151, and 154 in the Aura split. And then solid boards. What we're really excited about is the Shaper series. So we saw the Swift split. We also obviously have a solid version of the split. The Swift, we've added a 148 length in this, so that for the smaller rider or women, we have a shorter Swift. And then we also do it in a 52, 62, and a 57. So once again, aluminum tip and tail protectors. The Swift is owner Tim Canaday's personal board. So Tim built Swift. It was his first brand before Never Summer, and this was the clip art they used on the wooden Swift board. So he wanted to do a board not only to commemorate, but something that he was really excited about. Tim is a really fluid rider that is amazing carver, you know, so he loves to Euro carve, do swooping big cars, but obviously loves to ride in the powder and all over the mountains. So he started shaping and building the Swift, and has that fusion profile, so kind of a blend of our ripsaw profile in the back, heavy camber, a little more of original rocker camber under the front foot to cambered areas here, early rise nose, and that 20 millimeter taper. Carbon Max construction, so you have that long carbon X on the midsection of the board, and then those carbon Bs on the bottom. So once again, like, this isn't just a powder board. You can take this board, it's amazing on hard snow, it's going to hold an edge, and then on those pow days when it's cut up in the afternoon, you're not going to get another board when it gets chopped up, so it's really stable. So we wanted to do more boards with all these features, tapered boards, dynamic turning boards. So we created, or Tim created, I should say, his Shaper series. So we wanted to do different shapes and different tapers and sizes and everything for different kind of turning, you know. So we have boards like the Instigator, men's and women's models. So these are more of a shorter radius, really gyrating, quick banging turns for those tight trees, nooks, and crannies. You can size down on this board about 5 to 10 centimeters. So for me, I usually ride boards in that 61, 63 range. I was riding a 51. With all that broad surface area in the tip, and then in the taper, it's a 12 millimeter taper. You don't lose, you know, any float in deep powder, but you gain that maneuverability of a really short board. So it's incredibly nimble. This board with just a 12 millimeter taper will ride switch fine, and having that short length is easy to throw around. And then that fusion profile gives you so much spring and pop out of the tail. So it's an awesome all mountain board, but it's a great freestyle board as well, in a pretty unique shape. All the Swift will have original art from a longtime illustrator we've used since '96. So yeah, the Instigator, we've had phenomenal, feedback on that. I love it, as I do all the Shaper series. Next in the Shaper series is the Mavericks. So once again, we do a men's and women's version. Here's the women's right there, and then we have the men's. On the Mavericks, you can size up or down, so it's nimble enough with the 17 millimeter taper, the fusion profile in the early rise tip, that you can size up and not feel like a cumbersome board, but you can also size down. Personally, I ride this in the same size board I do our other boards around that. I ride the 63 in this Maverick, so it's a little more directional in shape, a little more tapered than the Instigator. And so having a little bit more effective edge, riding a little longer on this, it's great for a mid radius or longer radius turn, and it's just an awesome overall free riding board. And then last in our Shaper series is the Big Gun. So where the Maverick ends off at 63, this goes from 65, and then we have a 69 and a 74 in the Big Gun. So the Big Gun is a a 19 millimeter taper, so it has a really generous taper, and that combined with the nose and the center rocker, the Fusion profile, it doesn't feel like a tank or a cumbersome like long board. But what I like it for is it really carries speed. So you have a lot of surface area and to where you can carry speed and really low angle powder, get right on top of it. And then you have that big effective edge for really flowy, big turns. So this is an amazing board for above tree line bowls, open groomers, stuff like that. But like I said, it'll still turn quick. So I love the Big Gun for that as well. We use the carbonium top sheet on the Big Gun, so really techy looking, scratch resistant, and then once again some original artwork. And that would be our new shaper series.